Welcome back everyone to Lore of the Shadow, where today I am back here in the Crossway House in Herne, where I have just finished investigating for some signs of Rhaegar's mother.
What have you got there? Oh,
What? This was my mother's necklace! She's silent for a time, her hand closing around the tarnished necklace. Then she looks up at you with a sad smile. Thank you. I suppose knowing what happened means that I can close the door to my heart that I left open, hoping that she would someday return. I think I always knew, though, that she wouldn't. Of course, I will have to go to Sarkthorn myself, but that will be for a later episode. For today, I think we need to deal with a hobby horse and also some brigands. I've been asked to find Rendal here near Gavrod. Been here on at least one other occasion, so at least I know what I'll be facing, brigands, but as for where Rendal is, I have this. Oh, is that him right over here? Ah, yes, Rendal nods as you approach. Okay, a little stealthy, aren't you?
What kind of misfortunes led these people here, I wonder? To commit such acts of warmongering, to fuel their hunger for power.
One way or another, we are all trying to survive. A shame that it must be this way.
Between the two of us, that shouldn't be too difficult.
There must be several of these captains walking around, but defeating just a few will send the message. Between the two of us, we shouldn't be too difficult. Alright. I think I might have knocked out one or two captains from there myself, so getting a couple extra, I'll just call for some company. And we'll be ready, right? Yes, there must be several of those captains walking around, but defeating them with just a few should send them a message. Alright, and what do I need to do?
Hail, friend, and well met.
Whether or not you need my aid, should you use the whistle, I'll be there. Alright, so I need to defeat Gavran captains, and I need to use a whistle in order to summon him to my side. I think I should be able to kill 3 captains without any trouble. Now, that's not a captain, that's just an outlaw. Especially since I spent so much time postponing my trip to this area that I'm a bit over level for it. And I think the first time I came here, I might have been slightly under level, or maybe right at level or something like. Oh, there's the first captain right over there. Look at that. Level 23 signature. Yeah. He's not going to be any problem whatsoever. I suppose that answers the question of why there are all those captains around the last time I was here. Well, I'm
I
done.
only hope he realizes that there is more to life than just survival. Perhaps
A
with
new
my
start.
help, if he's willing.
A new start for Wakshin is now possible. I only hope that he realizes that there is more to life than survival. Perhaps with my help, if he's willing. Thank you, Pine Lore. You have a good heart. Don't let the world take it away. Alright, and let's see what we got here. Okay, I guess I'll take that ring. So that takes care of our second pending quest there. Since I remember which of these. Is this a ring or a. Oh, a bracelet! I'm always having trouble telling rings from bracelets. There we go. Now, I think it's time for us to. Oh, yes! Let's deliver a hobby horse to an elf. Now we're back to another brigand hideout, but this time the brigands are so low in level that they're completely gray to me. That means I've gone up quite a number of levels since I've started this series, of course. I'm level 27, and I think I found the elf. I also found the boar, but actually, it's green to me, but why are we fighting this thing? Stop it. Huh. Pesky Limraffin. Apparently not everything here is grey to me. Hello there.
I saw a light in the sky. I see so many lights, but this one's bellow tore through the air.
Hello. I just want to tell you that your son is alive and well, and, here's the hobby horse of his. Melania? My child? I had a child, but he ran away. No, the orcs took him, but... Yes, this is his toy. And there's a note on the bridle? Yeah, read it.
Long have I wandered, with a fell gloom blinding my eyes.
Hail, stranger! You bring joyous tidings. Long have I wandered with the fell gloom blinding my eyes, but now that the light has passed, and my thoughts are mine once more, my son is safe and nearby. He's at Cirlon, you say? I'll go there at once. Come and find me a Cirlon, then I shall reward you for your efforts. Well, that's good to hear. So, to Cirlon. Nice to see them together again.
Well met, honored friend.
You've done so much for my family and for me. I thank you 1,000 times over, and it is not enough. Please, take this, as well as my gratitude. You brought my son back to me. You brought me out of madness. And could I ever repay you enough? Alright, so we got 4 coins of Cardalon. Oh, and also from the sun.
Please, stay a moment.
I'm sorry, that's a hobbit's voice, not a child's voice, but okay. Oh, my heart is heavy. Think of how scared poor Kai must have been. I know my hobby horse is much the worse for the wear, but I would still like to gift it to him. I rinsed off the traces of orc that have brushed out its mane once more. I know it's a poor gift, given the danger that he was in. Yes, but perhaps it will bring him comfort, and let him know that he has a friend amongst the elves. Will you bring it to him if you happen to go through Hern again? Alright, fine. I will bring this to Kai. Back and forth, back and forth. It's nice to see that all the children are back in the right spot. Alright, well, here's Kai. Oh no, that's Winna. Here's Kai. Oh, hello! You have something for me from the Wailing Woman's son? Oh, bless me, but this is the best gift ever. You're sure that I can have it? Oh, how wonderful! Look, Mom, I'm a Rider of Rohan! Oh, well. Nice to see that he appreciated it. Well, now, I suppose that means it's time to head to Skurlock Farm. It appears that we have a bit of a quest hub here. Now, is this a future quest, or is this a...
To the north lie the ruins of Halfneary.
Defeat Goblins, level 20 quest. Oh my goodness gracious, we've got that a little... Oh. Malfang nods as I approach. Oh, there he is.
Honderod sent you to us. I'm glad he still lives.
Too many of my folk were scattered into the wild by the attack of the terrible riders, and some were slain even as they ran. Those who survived made for this farm, and there must be other safe havens as well. Safe, did I say? Oh, no place is safe. I have not seen any sign of the riders for 2 days, but there are orcs and half-orcs gathering in the South Downs, and they are ever at the ret. So I get a ancient silver band of will. Well, it's a slight upgrade, I guess.
Half-orcs gather around Armenthean, the Dead Mount, a place of ill omen to the east.
and some of those half-orcs have dared to venture near this farm. I suspect that they may hold orders to guide their movements. Find these orders, if they exist, and return to me with what you find. When we know what they seek to achieve, and how their movements align with those of the Black Riders that attacked us, we will be better able to oppose them. So defeat half-orcs in Amonfern and find any orders that they might be carrying. Okie dokie. I suppose I should take all of the quests in this area, even...
To the north lie the ruins of Halfneri.
My ancestors rest up there in the ancient stone sarcophagi, but recently the tombs have been overrun with goblins. I implore you to do what you can to lessen their numbers, that the dead may sleep more soundly. I think I've done something like that in a mission once. But anyway, I suppose I'll have to take that quest if I go in that area. I'm sure hopefully someone will have a quest that's a little closer to my level up there.
A band of goblins took over the Hove farm.
Yes, a band of goblins have taken over the Hove farm across the way to the northwest. My husband Tomer and our sons went to do something about it, but they have not returned, and I'm worried. I'm pretty handy with a hay fork, but I can't take on those horrid goblins, and besides, I have the Hoves here to look over. But you look formidable. Could you please rescue my husband and sons? Those foul creatures? I look rather formidable. Well, maybe compared to her, but compared to her, I'm sorry. She looks like she could be formidable. Oh, she has a little quest ring. Oh, how cute. Who are you? Are you here to help? Oh, please say yes. Terrible goblins raided our farm and I want to go home, but they're still there and I can see the smoke from here. Oh, please, 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 can you please put out the fires? Oh, it is all going to burn if you don't. Oh, you must help. Oh, we have a beautiful pond where you could fill a bucket and use it to put out the fire. Nice of her to know that detail. What about Kindrew?
Greetings. I heard Edru talking to you about our farm.
If you are going that way, I would also beg a boon of you. I hurt my back during the raid on the farm, and I'm not able to help out there as much as I'd usually have done. If you're going to be stuck off my feet, I must still be useful, but not without any woodworking tools. Please, if you go to the farm, will you look for my tools? I left them near the house. Well, okay, fine. I guess they don't have any spare tools here. So we'll see what we can do. And what does she need?
Oh, hello. Did you come here from the west?
Have you been to our farm too, I wonder? The Skurlogs have been so kind to us. They took us in when we wretched band of goblins drove us off our land. The fiends killed our cows and ate all of our food. Oh, poor Nellie. She was such a good cow, too. We do not have much, but if you happen to go back in that direction, give those goblins a taste of their own medicine. I would be so grateful. Would you find out the farm to the west of here? Alright, fine. Defeat Luke Globe and defeat goblins at the farm. I do wonder about some of these things being... I say there's such a mix of levels, I think, of the quests in this area. Now, of course, the fact that I did all those things near the grave areas in Androth didn't exactly help. That's the mission giver. Yeah, right, so... Oh. Empty bucket. Really? Okay, fine. That'll be helping. Oh, yeah, for collecting water out of the pond. So I think I need to defeat half-orcs. Let's go to Amonfern first, since that seems to be where the quest arrow is pointing. And maybe I'll get a little help from a bear, and we'll be half-orc. How far are we from our destination? Oh, no, we still got a bit of ways to go before we're there. That's just a random half-orc that happened to be in my way. Oh, yeah, that's a bit of a distance away, and it looks like I'll need to be going up and down. I presume it's all the way up to whatever location has all those towers up there. And it's very, very, very craggy terrain that I'll have to go through in order to get there. Apparently, the quest area starts right over here. So not quite all the way that, because I killed a random orc along the way and he dropped a note. That way, the attack will come from both directions, north from the Blue Mountains and south up from the Greenway. Your forces will bear a great deal of the weight, for I do not trust the goblins will do their part. They were given their orders, but I know those creatures, and they lack the care or the fortitude of your sort. They have claimed the ruins northwest of the Dead Mount, but whether they can be counted on, well, you know goblins. I would not be surprised to learn that they left their own orders lying about. Well then, I suspect I am going to be told to fetch those orders at some point. I found some orders.
Half orcs working with goblins. Sounds as if neither side is very happy about it.
They may not be happy about it, but I can't tell from this what their overall scheme might be, or for whom they toil. A half-orc held the quill that penned these orders, I believe, not one of those terrible writers, but for whom did the half-orc write them? If the author of these orders is to be believed, we might learn more from the goblins that dwell in the ruins northwest of Amonfirn. Hoth Niri, they're called. Let us hope that the goblins are as careless with their own orders as the half-orcs believe them to be. Well, I suppose we're going to have to find out, alright? So now, defeat goblins at... Oh no, that's a separate set of goblins. Okay, search Hoth Niri for scraps of orders 0 of 6. That means I gotta find 6 sets of them, and that's back in this direction. Hoth Niri. Now, these are the goblins. And I had to kill goblins in Hoth Niri for that other quest, so... Alright, I suppose that's good. Here we go. And now, let's get to the goblins. That appears to be my destination. And it looks like the half-orcs are keeping a close eye on those goblins. They certainly don't trust them. Well, he won't be able to report back. That's all I can say about that. Now, let's see what those goblins are up to and how careless they are. We don't need to kill the boars. We don't need to kill the rabbits. Oh, hold on, what's this? Really? They left them outside? Well, I think the half-orcs managed to even underestimate the carelessness of the goblins. Really? They left them outside completely? Where any random hobbit could come and pick them up? Huh. Oh. Well, at least that one was next to a goblin. So it's not quite as bad as leaving... Sapper. Well, if he was trying to burn the orders, he missed! Ouch, 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 ouch. They're all over the place! Really? Absolutely careless. Oh, hi. Here, you go down. You go down. Yeah. Well, looks like I'm not gonna have trouble finding. I was expecting to be looking all over the place for order, and there are orders all over. There are in fact more orders than I need to pick up because I see other glowing up there. There's also a chest there, but that's another matter. Well, I suppose that means then I need to go and kill more goblins. Well, maybe I shouldn't have done it quite in that order. Well, it looks like the bear didn't get set on fire or anything like that, so I guess that's good news. So, just a few more. Actually, let's see what's in that chest, just out of curiosity. Well, okay. Thank you for dying. Okay, that's anything else? Now let's see what's in here. Anything useful? A scholar scroll case. Well, I suppose that's useful. Expert jeweler's journal. Well, I can't argue with the new recipe, that's for sure. Now, hold on. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. Now, I guess that means just kill a couple more goblins and I will be able to return. I dealt with those goblins.
May those wretched creatures be driven from this land for good.
Yeah, that's pretty much sums it up. Now, let's organize these notes. Where should we do that at? Ah, here's a good place. Let's put them on the table and see if we can figure out what these notes say. Okay. Let's see, sort this one here, this one over here. That one's hard to read. Well, okay, good. Now, let's see what we got here. Yes. That's a little bit better. Good. We're getting there. Just a bit more, and maybe someday we will have something that is readable. Ah! Maybe this is it? Could this be it? Let that be a lesson to you goblins then. The big ones have ways of dealing with treachery, and if you work against their goals, what happened to the last batch can happen to you and yours as well. You'll be told what you need to know when you have need of it and not before. The Dark Lord will repay us for our services. Why else would the wisest throw their lot in with him, even as we have done? The dwarves will be easily manipulated. They will follow Skorgrim wherever he leads them, no matter who leads Skorgrim. I trust the God Lord can do this, and that should be enough for you lot. The attack will come from both directions, down from the Blue Mountains and up the Greenway from across the Old Barrows. Even now the Witch King works to raise the spirits of the dead. With the aid of the Grey Fear, none will stand against him, or against us. It was the fear that laid waste to the old kingdom that once stood here, and see little of that remains. Okay, so the Grey Fear is involved with this. Well, we'll have to deal with the Grey Fear. Of course, that's going to be for a later episode. The shadow rises in Angmar, but it needs time to gather its strength. Not much time, but time all the same. That's what we're for. My gang and you lot. I just don't get in the way of the riders or the Grey Fear. No one will save you then, and you wouldn't want them to. You would just yearn for death. What the fear would do with you doesn't bear thinking about. So, you stay out of the way. These are the Dark Lord's most valued servants. You and me are just worms to such as them, and worms can get squashed if they haven't got the brains enough to get clear. We'll be called on when we're needed. Well, What do you say about that?
I don't like the sound of that. Any of that.
Not only do servants of the White Hand move openly in Swanfleet, but in Cardolan and beyond, there are other powers at work too. The Witch King and the Black Riders, goblins and half-orcs making common cause, and now a dwarf rebellion led by someone called Skorgrim? Judging from his name, he's no Longbeard, but if he leads an army out of the Blue Mountains, we will be hard-pressed to deal with him, no matter who he might be. But there's something else too. These orders speak of something called the Grey Fear. That's a familiar title, but I cannot remember why, and that worries me. Oh, believe me, it's a very worrisome title, because I've just been doing research on the Grey Fear. How about that? Oh, I get a quest reward. Oh, how about ancient silk robes? Actually, it's not an upgrade. Oh, well, maybe it'll work cosmetically. Then again, maybe not.
This has given us a lot to think about. But what is the Grey Fear?
Should we tell them who the Grey Fear is? Do we have to pretend that we don't know? We have to find that out in the next episode of Lore of the Shadow.